righty, it is time for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. I got some phone lines open if you'd like to call right now, 1-800-252-1025. We also take your emails at lifecoach@KZOK. Phone lines open, 1-800-252-1025. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's talk to Dave in Tacoma. Hiya, Dave.
Well, hi, Dan. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, good, man. Hey, I just had a question for you, Dan.
Yeah?
We're trying to get some divorce papers served to my soon-to-be ex-son-in-law.
Uh-huh.
And we don't have an existing address for him. He's kind of disappeared off the map.
Right.
Well, anyway, so he's going to court this coming Friday, and I'd like to know if you possibly have any idea who I could contact to have somebody serve those papers so I can stay out of the middle of this.
Well, actually, kind of no. But you can serve him papers right there in the courthouse, but somebody's going to have to serve him, and it's not a subpoena, so you can't. I don't believe that you can call that service. But this is now the problem of a probation department. Now, I know he's not on probation yet, but he was doing classes for domestic violence, right?
This is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And did he plead guilty to things?
Yes, he did.
All right. So he's now probation. He's a Department of Problems and probation. He's going to get served something right there in court. Now, I don't know that they're going to have anything to do about his divorce, but that's a fine time to serve him. Now, why wouldn't you want to serve him?
Well, it's just I kind of hate to really get in the middle of this. So I would kind of like to have somebody who's not in the family hand him those papers and say you've now been served.
Well, pay that service. That service is available to you. They're all over the internet. Find the right one and serve this guy. Because you're right, because I'm sitting here as a dad of a daughter. I'm thinking serve this bastard. No, I'm just guessing. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. But if he's raising his hand to my daughter, I want all sorts of justice in the world. And now I think, talking to you, Dave, because calmer heads prevailed, you don't need any more guff from this guy. Yeah, there's absolutely the same people. By the way, you can do it with a private person. You can ask one of your friends to do it. You don't have to be an officer of the court in any way, shape, or form to put papers in this guy's hand. And I will tell you right now who you can do it. You can go to womansdivorce.com. Thank you, Will. You can go to womansdivorce.com, and you'll find all sorts of people that will serve this cat some papers, because you do need it done. And you're right for you, not for everybody, for you. You want to stay out of it, and God bless you. So there's all sorts of ways you can go. You can go to people that serve subpoenas, and you can also look at womansdivorce.com. That's womansdivorce.com. Thanks for the call there, Dave, and good luck on all that. I hope that works out for you.
If you've got a question for the Life Coach, today's the day to call 800-252-1025. You can lie about your name if you need to. Just make the phone call, 800-252-1025, or email lifecoach@kzok.com. Stacy in Renton has sent an email. I have suspicions that my friend's boyfriend of many years is married to another woman. I'm torn between...
Like a bigamist?
It's boyfriend.
But he's still married?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm torn between staying out of it and letting my friend remain blissfully ignorant, or telling her and shattering her dreams. What do you think I should do?
Well, I think you're kind of leaning towards not doing it. The way she could be blissful if she doesn't know. That's the word you use. Or she could, what does the second thing say? Blissful in ignorance.
Or shatter her
dreams. So I'm thinking you don't want to tell. And I don't think you should. When I thought it was a thing of bigamy, that he was married to two people, you should tell. If he's making any promises to your friend, you should tell. But, if he's married to somebody and dating your friend, he has that right and she has that right. And I always say, don't interfere on that one until, it's like, I thought you were going to say in the beginning of this email that I think my friend's boyfriend is cheating on her. Should I tell? No. You should stay miles away from that. That's not, well, it is your business, but don't get involved in who you're going to tell. But, the fact that he may be married isn't enough for you to tell. He's got to be offering to marry her, and then you need to get involved. Right now, I don't see a reason for you to get involved, but it's nice that you look out for your friends.
If you've got a question for the Life Coach, 800-252-1025, or email lifecoach@kzok.com. Christina in Seattle sent an email. I'm getting married this summer. Mm-hmm. My family's culture calls for a potluck wedding. But some of the people we've invited are expecting a more traditional setting, being wined and dined at our expense. Well, specifically the expense of the father of the bride.
Right.
But that's not how my family operates. I don't want to offend anyone, but but I also don't want to be offended by someone not contributing to the potluck and just leeching off of everybody else. How do I walk this fine line as I prepare to walk down the aisle?
Carefully. This is such an easy way to get your feelings hurt, but the one person that should not get their feelings hurt on this special day is you. You should turn this right over. Don't you have a maid of honor? Somebody else should be dealing with this and not you. I don't know. You call it a potluck, and nothing could be more American than a potluck. But I'm guessing you come from some country, someplace that, it's somebody brings this. Is not the potluck that Americans would recognize. It's a joint task of bringing food and beverage to this wedding. I cannot imagine. I think you're overthinking this because you probably have good friends. And I don't think anybody's coming there. And here's my plan of mooching off you. If I was going to a wedding and I thought, well, I'm going to mooch, I'd go to Fridays and I'd have some cheese sticks and some margaritas. Nobody's going out of their way to a wedding.
That'd be a fun wedding.
Yeah, it would. Nobody's going out of their way to mooch off you. I think you're overthinking this. I think you're a little bit concerned about your family's culture. Your friends, they'll all participate for the most part. And then, you get to start off your new life knowing who your friends really are. If somebody comes and they're not participating and they are mooching, then hey, here's my new life and I don't need that person in it. But I think you're overthinking it. I think everybody's going to participate to the best of their abilities.
If you've got a question for the life coach, 800-252-1025. Any kind of question you have, Danny can help you.
I can.
Make the call at 800-252-1025. He's been through it all. Divorce, relationships, jobs, drugs. Relationships, jobs, drugs. Neighbor wars.
Some of my relationships were on drugs.
We've got an email from Amy in Everett. I dated this guy for about a year. We're staying in touch, but now he says he wants to date a good friend of mine. I told him I can deal with him dating, just not dating her. I don't believe he wants a relationship, just a hookup. Am I wrong to feel this way? Is it possible to draw the line on this? What would you do?
Well, it's cool that you think you get a vote. But you don't. You so don't get a vote in this. You were never married. Now, here's the thing. Let's say I was dating Sarah, and and it went pretty far, but then we broke up. And then Will says, hey, do you mind if I date her? You can't date Sarah, for God's sakes. That's breaking the guy code. Why are you looking at me funny? Do you not know that this breaks the guy code?
No, I would never do that.
I don't think he likes the example either.
You can't date my old girlfriend because you're my friend, and that supersedes anything that you
100% agree with that.
So your friend is breaking the codes with dating your friend, and if she wants to do it, she's breaking the code. I'm going to go over the long run on this, that you do get a vote, but it's really going to be up to that girl because she's breaking the code for sure. Because I think it goes exactly the same for girls as it does for boys on this. She theoretically, to be a decent person, can't date this guy, and you just need to point it out. I think to her more than him. He's a guy. He's kind of a dog. And you're talking about just hooking up. Guys will do a lot for sex, and if I'm not mistaken, that's what hooking up is. It's sex. So I think you need to tell your girlfriend. Tell everybody. If this is going to make you sad, tell both parties. You can't do this. It breaks the code, and I can't believe anybody's doing this. And these times of ours, everybody knows this code. Everybody in this room knew the code as I put it out there. Will can't date you. I can't date you. Nobody can date you. It's a guy code on this. She can't date your ex. It's no good. So there's Danny Bonaduce, life coach, official ruling on this. She can't date this guy. Thank you for writing. Oh, I got all worked up.
So let me just clarify. If it is two girls and it's the guy who dated the girl and then wants to date the next girl, it still applies.
Yes, it still applies.
Okay.
I don't think it's hardcore. It applies like two guys.
It's a woman. And
like if Amy and I broke up, Will can so not have sex with her. She's my ex-wife. What kind of scum are you, Will? I'm getting mad at you just thinking about this.
I was thinking about that. If one of my exes called up and said, I really want to just take Becky out on a couple dates, I think I'd be irritated.
No, you can't do it. You can't. And Becky is scummy for going out with your ex.
Well, I don't know that Becky would say yes, but if my ex said, hey, I really want to go out with Becky.
No, that can make you mad, especially if he knew Becky while you guys were dating.
Right.
Because now you have to have the question, was he looking at Becky the whole time we were together?
Of course.
Yeah.
I remember actually one of my girlfriends wanted to date my ex named Steve.
Right.
And I thought that was weird. She liked him for a long time.
Oh, she can't do that.
Even while I was dating him. And
she was having evil thoughts.
Yeah. And I said, go ahead. If we broke up for a reason, you want to touch that? Go ahead.
Yeah, see, it's different for guys than for girls. Because I can't, even if I break up with a girl because I really, really, really don't like her, it's not that you can't date her. It's that you can't have sex with her. You just can't. No, you can't.
And I don't want to see her, so I don't want you bringing her around.
Yeah, get her out of my house, you lunatic.
Yeah.
Will.
Let's put you on with John and Linwood. John, you are on with Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I got a neg one just under a DUI. Judge orders a drug evaluation. I do the drug evaluation, and the drug evaluator says you're just taking your own meds. You're not abusing any other drugs, or you're not abusing any drugs.
Right.
And you don't need to be in rehab or anything like that. That's my drug evaluation. It's
Okay.
chemical dependency counselor.
Hey, John, can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Are you just a little scattered because you're on the radio? Because you don't sound that okay.
Well, I am okay.
All right, I'll believe you now. I think everybody calm down and ask me your question.
What's that?
Ask me your question.
Well, the judge says basically, I don't care what the evaluator said. You need to get I'm giving you 60 days to get a drug treatment plan.
Okay.
I go back to the place, and they say, we gave you your evaluation. We said you don't need treatment.
Right. So what's your question?
The question is, if I don't step up and get IOP or some kind of...
I'll tell you what you got to do. You got to go get a drug treatment plan, whether you think you need one or whether the evaluator needs one. And here's the way you have to think of it. And it can sound comical, it can sound flippant, but it's pretty much the real thing. Judges are God. When he says, I don't care what they said, that's what you listen to. Now, if they would have said, hey, we're the drug guys and we don't care what the judge says, they can't say that. But the judge can absolutely say that. You are bent to the will of that judge as you are to the will of God. Now, you could fight that judge, but can I tell you right now, this is a huge financial endeavor to fight that judge. It's a huge time endeavor because he's going to say, hey, come back here in 8 weeks. And then he's going to say, come back here in 6 months. And he's going to dry you out and hold you out. Whatever it was the judge told you to do, in this case was come to a drug diversion program. You absolutely have to do that so you can stay out of jail for the DUI. That's all. That's what you got to do is do what the judge said, and you've got to go to a treatment plan and have it and deliver it to him and say, I'm going Monday, Thursday, and Friday, Your Honor, and then you're not going to go to jail. But the judge reigns supreme. Hey, thanks, John. I appreciate the phone call. And that is all the time we have right now for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.